Daily stock market review. SPY closed with a doji. During hours, we entered this gap, but got rejected by the 436 area. If we zoom in, we can clearly see the first 3 hours we went up and then slowly went back down. This is what caused this daily doji. Doji usually represents a pullback, retracement of the previous trend. We had Friday, Monday, bullish days. Today, doji. Let's see if we can hang around and above the 432, 433, and then next leg up towards closing the 438 area gap, and then retesting this yellow trend line. This yellow trend line will become a very tough resistance because since July's highs, each and every time, also here, you can see bulls had a very rough time staying above this yellow trend line, got back below, another attempt, got back below. So with high probability and with the nature things of price action, this area, closing this gap, and this area will become a very tough resistance for SPY bulls. QQQ, same thing. During hours went above the 370, but zoom in, same as the SPY, 3 first hours went to the upside. Each and every candle, first hour very bullish, then the candle got smaller and smaller until bears came in, and the last 3 hours just sideways move, and this is what caused this daily doji. Always zoom in and zoom out to get a better point of view of price action. A doji, as we said on the SPY, we might get some kind of a pullback. 366 area, all this area needs to hold the support before the next leg up towards the 374 and this purple trend line. Same as the SPY, this trend line helps us to identify that since July's highs, we are lower highs, which means downtrend. Until proven otherwise, we need a weekly close above this area, and only then, only when we'll see a weekly close above this area, then we can say bulls are back. Dow Jones also doji of the 50% retracement, downtrend bounce, 50% retracement doji. Now we need the 335, 336 area needs to hold as support. Otherwise, we are going back to the 333 area. Let's see if we can hold, at least for tomorrow, above the 336 before the next leg up, going into filling this gap and into this yellow trend line. Same as the SPY, same as the Qs, this trend line, downtrend, lower highs since peak of August. IWM, relative strength, pretty nice. Now, the 50% retracement, the 177.40 area was here resistance. Now, by natural things of price action, will become once again resistance. We also have the longer term downtrend line, as you can see, above the 177. We are heading closing this gap at the 170, 180 area together with this red trend line. This red trend line, all this area will become a tough resistance. If you're a pattern trader, pattern seeker, maybe, it's a big maybe, left shoulder, head, maybe going into a right shoulder. It's too early. We're not here to predict the future. And it's a very big maybe. This is why Fibonacci traders, we don't rely on patterns. We don't follow patterns. All we do, follow price, look left, where price came from, identifying support and resistance area for future price action using trend lines, Fibonacci levels, and then we manage our risk accordingly. Bitcoin back below this yellow trend line. This is why I say trend lines are the true support resistance together, of course, with Fibonacci, and are also the roadmap, our GPS for future price action. Now, 26,200 is the next support. Ethereum, slowly, sliding down Here we are at the 1540 area, very important area of support, breaking down and under, and we will see retesting this trend line, this purple trend line together with the 1460 KRE. If you saw previous videos, you know these trend lines, and here we are, high of the day on the trend line, got rejected. Now we have a slight gap over here, Monday's highs. We can be a little bit more accurate, the 4130, but we know it's a gap, and we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled throughout time below, closing tomorrow below this gap, and we are heading back to the 4065 KRE overall, downtrend until proven otherwise. Crude oil hanging above this red zone. This red zone goes back as a very tough resistance since November 2022 until it broke to the upside beginning of September, went back down, gap to the upside, now holding above it. But if you look left, crude oil futures have no gaps, which means that more than 99% chance this gap will get filled. SOXX 485, which is also the 50% retracement, downtrend bounce, 50% retracement. Now 478.50 needs to hold the support, otherwise we are heading back to the 468. Let's see another, maybe tomorrow closing above the 485, and we shall see retesting this yellow trend line. Overall, this yellow trend line helps us to identify high, lower high, and maybe here another lower high and lower lows, which means this is the exactly definition of a downtrend until proven otherwise. Natural gas, you know these trend lines, we talked about these trend lines in the past few videos, and this trend line confirms that trend lines are the true support, resistance for future price action. 3 consecutive days, natural gas is having difficult to break up and above. One more day, bulls will give up, and we will see retracement to the 320 area, below 320, back to the 3. Apple with a doji, not surprising, same as the SPY, same as the Qs. After a few days of bull run, now try to enter this area of resistance, this gap, got rejected. Doji, look at the intradays. First hour, very bullish. Candles got smaller and smaller. Bears to control, gave everything back. And this is why we have a doji on the daily. Zoom out, zoom in, then you really understand the true price action. AMD, you know all these trend lines. We drew these trend lines way back, few weeks back. Now this white trend line, as expected, resistance because it was support. Look left, from support, now resistance. Now here you have a new broadening formation, failing to break above this white trend line, and we are heading to retest this red trend line as our support. Tesla 1.5% to the upside today, all the way to this red trend line, as expected, got rejected. Now this purple trend line needs to hold as support. Google, doji got rejected by the 139 area, 139 area, look left, very tough resistance. Not surprising, 2 consecutive days, Monday and today. Resistance 136.20 needs to hold, maybe back to the 134, but overall Google looking good. Let's see where tomorrow and the rest of the week will give us, what price action it will give us on Google. Don't forget, we have PPI, we have CPI, very important reports that will affect price action. So as traders, the only thing we have control of is our risk management. All the noise that surrounds us, it doesn't matter when it comes to trading, when it comes to the stock market. The only thing we need to take care about is our risk management. Microsoft holding barely above the 328, 324, 325 area is the next support. 334 is the next resistance. Netflix, Friday and Monday, green days, 387 area, 386 area. You know this area, we drew this area few weeks back. We also drew this purple trend line few weeks back. And this area, very tough resistance once again. 370 together with this purple trend line, very important area of support. Breaking below it, and we shall see 341 gap getting filled. Shopify, this double bottom scenario, multi-bottom scenario we are speaking of in the past few videos, now looks like it's coming into validation. 54.25 now needs to hold the support before the next leg up, closing this gap at the 56.80 area. A weekly close above this area, and next week we shall see this gap at the 59 area getting filled. Amazon doji, but above the 127.70 area, which was a very difficult area of resistance. Now let's see, Amazon needs to hold above this area, closing the week, at least this week, closing above the 127, and then next week we shall see 135 gap getting filled. If you want to know more and really understand how to look left, how to look and understand in-depth candlestick analysis, pure price action, Fibonacci and trend lines, and use them as your guide, as your GPS for future price action, check the links in the description below. First, we have the Fibonacci Academy playlist, 25 videos free on my YouTube channel. So check them out. Each and every day, watch one video and you will become a better trader. If you want to take your trading journey to the highest level, we have several programs that you can choose from to become a professional trader. NVIDIA holding above the 451 area, 462, not surprising. Rejected price because it's the 618 Fibonacci level. Below 451, and we will retest the 441 together with this yellow trend line, maybe before the next leg up. But once again, CPI, PPI, all these reports coming during the coming days, so manage your risk accordingly. Meta, Friday, very bullish day. Monday, slightly smaller candle. Today, doji, which means we might get a pullback, retesting the 314 area before the next leg up towards 326. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Where are we heading towards the end of 2023? Will we see new all-time highs at the 480? It's not that far. We have 2.5 months. We have just above 10% in 2.5 months. It's not that far. Let me know in the comments below. I really want to know what are your thoughts. Until the next video, stay safe and trade safe.